So did y'all ever get the Apple Vision Pro unlock?
Okay, so we tried to unlock it ourselves, couldn't do it. Called Apple. Apple's like, you need a Genius appointment. And I'm like, great. I had to wait 2 days. We brought it to Genius Bar. We technically got it fixed, kind of. He tried 8 times to reset our Vision Pro and failed each time. He was just like, I have it connected to the computer, but it doesn't connect to my iPad. I don't know what they have to do. But they're like, but the Vision Pro keeps disconnecting. And their solution was, here's a new Vision Pro, because if they can't fix it, then it's technically defective. Because if Apple can't fix it, then there is something wrong with it. Good thing they had some on
hand.
Yeah, and like apparently the light shield we use, which is 21W, is the most popular one. So that was something they were worried about. They're like, that is the most popular like light shield.
What is a light shield?
We might not have it. So the when you put it on, it's the one that goes around your eyes that gives you distance between the screen and the monitor, the screen and your eyes.
Oh, there's
it
options?
prevents lights from going in.
There's different like options to choose from. Oh,
so
I didn't
like
know
when
that.
you ordered it, you actually scanned your face. You had to use your phone and you had to like tilt your head, kind of how you do the face unlocking thing. Like you have to like move your head around or whatever. So yeah, you have a certain light shield size and a headband size, like how big your head is.
Gotcha. So going back to like the face unlock, I heard, is this true? Like I heard like you can use your eyes, like the biometrics in your eyes or something to unlock the Apple Vision Pro?
Yes. Wow. Only if you don't turn off the device. So kind of like your phone. If you turn off your phone, you have to enter your PIN code. You can't use the Face ID. So same thing. That's how we got locked out. Like he set up the password and then we were done with it. We unplugged it because we didn't want to just leave it running. We didn't know how it works. But yeah, so once we unplugged it, we just lost it. But hey,
that's cool though. At least you got
it working. Yes.
One more Apple Vision Pro question. Have you tried the immersion yet? Is it cool? Is it all?
It's fun. There's some immersions that give you sound effects with it. Like I made it completely like I can't see everything. I was like, I think I was in Yosemite. There's one on the beach. There's like a bunch of different ones. But yeah, I tried immersion. It's really nice.
That's cool.
I was using it, I want to say for like 20 minutes and then my eyes started hurting. But the Vision Pro did tell me like, they give you 2 different cushions. Like, you know how with any vision or what's it called? VR headset, the part that gets all gunky is the one that touches your face because you get all sweaty. It's all air is just getting stuck there. So they give you 2 of them. But the second one is fluffier to give you more space between your eye and the monitor. The Vision Pro actually tells you when to use that. Like they told me, hey, your eyes are way too close to the display. Change the thing. Cool. I didn't listen to it. And then my eyes started hurting in 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, I'm done.
So let's get started with the very first podcast of the Treehouse Show. This is Laura and I am Dustin.
Hello.
We both work here for Treehouse. And I think the first episode would be really cool to get to know us. So episode 1, which is this one, we're going to get to know Laura a little bit. I do work with her and I don't know that much about her. So I've got a couple of questions for her that I want to ask, and yeah, we'll get to know Laura a little bit. So my first question is just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and what are some of your favorite hobbies?
All right. So I am Laura, as you said. I am the content manager and an online instructor for Treehouse. So basically, I help all the instructors out with their courses. If they need any help, I'm always there to help them out, plan things out for them. I originally got hired to update all the React stuff, and that has been complete. So if you're listening to this, check out our React content. It's all up to date, all new. All uses
Shameless
React
plug.
hooks. Of course. I spent so many hours working on that. Of course I'm going to plug it.
I have watched most of it, and it is very good.
I like teaching. Like I like breaking things down for people. So like in college, I remember my professor was telling me, because I would always go to office hours, and he's like, I know how my class is because you keep asking questions, and like I can gauge from you what people are, because not a lot of people ask questions. But yeah, I just like tutoring people, helping people out. So like it was awesome that I got this job.
Yeah, it was a good fit for you.
Exactly. And so that's what I kind of do. I make courses. If anything needs to be updated, I update them. If we want new courses on AI, I make some AI courses, whatever we think our students want or our subscribers want, we make it happen.
Can you give us a little bit of hints on anything new coming, or is it top secret?
I can give you hints on portfolios because I feel like a lot of people have been asking for portfolio content. We just released one of them, I think last month, which is how to make a portfolio with like vanilla JavaScript, HTML, CSS, stuff like that. We're
cool.
also coming out with more things. And I guess it's not really secret. You can look on our website and go on teamtreehouse.com/roadmap, and you can see all our stuff that's coming out soon.
Good to
Everything
know.
that we're
Good to
working
know.
on. Yeah, but I think you also asked hobbies.
Yeah, what are some of your favorite hobbies? What are you outside of a developer? Who are you?
Outside of developer, I am a crocheter. I am an
Crochet.
shameless reality TV show watcher. That is my
What's your favorites?
That is my 90 Day Fiance. I'm sorry. TLC. Anything TLC comes out
Anything
with.
TLC.
Yep. 1,000-Pound Sisters, 90 Day Fiance, all the spin-off. That is but that's like my guilty pleasure. I also watch, I think, a lot of Dropout. Dropout is fun. Have you heard of Dropout?
I have not. No. What is that?
Dropout is fun. It's kind of like College Humor spin-off. There's a show called Game Changer where every episode it's a game show, but the game changes and you don't know the rules, or the contestants don't know the rules until the game starts.
That's cool.
And then they made a spin-off called Make Some Noise because a lot of people are good with impressions, and they give them a prompt like Donald Trump if he was in Lord of the Rings, and like someone
That
does
sounds like a lot of fun.
improv up those. It's a blast.
I might be showing my age, but have you heard? So what you described kind of reminded me of a show that I used to watch when I was growing up. It was on a station that I don't even think exists anymore, Spike TV, but it was called Silent Library. I think that was the name of it. Okay, so it's not just me. I thought I might have made that up.
No, Silent Library was awesome.
That was cool. And it was always like bands. It was always like famous bands that would like go in and do it. It was awesome.
Yeah. Or like groups of friends. I remember that. The show is more like that. It's fun. It's like a lot of improv. And
so what's your background in tech? Did you always like tech, or was it something that you just found later in life, or what? Give me the story.
Okay, so growing up, I wasn't really exposed to tech too much. My brother took over the computer. I remember dial-up internet where you couldn't use your phone and the internet at the same time. So I never really was exposed to it. I knew MySpace, you could mess with the HTML, and that's how some people got into tech. Yeah, I didn't go that techie. Like, I thought I was cool that I knew how to edit the URL to get me to a specific page. But I was more of a Legos person. Like, I knew I'd like to build things and I like to figure out how things work. So I actually went to college to be a structural engineer because I was like, okay, I'm good with math. I don't like English. People are like, engineering, go for it. It's more mathy. You don't have to write much. And I'm like, cool, sign me up. But my first experience with tech, I was taking Mech 101, which is Mechanical Engineering 101, and we had to create a robot. So we made a whack-the-mole type of thing. We had to program it to when it goes up, which one goes up. We had an Arduino board, actually build the box and the mechanisms and everything. So that was my first little touch. I didn't do too much coding, but then there was another class, I think it was the one right after that, which was, in Crackle Barrel, triangle game with the pegs, where you remove one peg and you have to jump over, and then you have to keep jumping over pegs and removing them
so much
until you're left with one. Yeah.
Yep.
So we had a project where no, not at all. We had a project where we had to basically make a program that solves it. Like, you told the program, all right, I removed this peg, and the program would be like, here's a solution. This is the moves you have to make.
Kind of like an algorithm, right? Basically writing an algorithm.
Yeah, we all basically hard coded it. We're basically like, all right, do this jump. Now do this jump. Did that work? No. All right, do something different. But yeah, that was my experience with it. And I remember vividly going to sleep one day, and before going to sleep, I was like stuck on a bug and it wouldn't work. And it was just like, kept banging my head against the wall. And then I went to bed, I dreamt the solution. And I was just like, woke up, ran to my computer. I was just like, all right, this is what my dream told me to do. And it fixed it. So
wow, that's awesome.
I should have taken the hint there that there was something there with tech.
Was that your
with
defining
coding
moment?
and stuff. That was my defining moment, but I didn't take it. I just ignored it, unfortunately. I wish I took it. I wish I was just like major change, like change my major, go to a different point of view and stuff. But no, so I graduated college as a structural. I got a structural engineer job. I just forgot about tech. I just like left it behind, and I was like, all right, I got this PhD diploma. I got this diploma. Might as well use it. I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to get it.
Right.
I'm still paying it off. It's not completely
Student
gone.
loan debt is not for the weak.
That was one thing I kind of regret, was not doing an internship when I was in college. Because if I did an internship, I would have known sooner that my major wasn't for me, and I should have taken that leap into tech, into coding and stuff, and going just making a whole career change switch.
So how did you learn to code, or what did you learn basically from that, or did you like dive deeper and go all in at another time, or was it like gradual? Like, how did you learn to code?
So I told you I graduated as structural engineer. It was 2020. The big corona came around and she messed up everyone's life. And I think it gave everyone time to like just sit and think like, do I like where my life is going? Do I like what I'm doing as a job or whatever? And for me was no, I don't. I was working at a place that minimum was 40 hours a week. She expected 50, which is more. And I was a salary. I wasn't hourly. So it was kind of like, here's free 10 hours a week. Yeah. So it wasn't the best, and wasn't happy with what I was doing. So I was trying to figure out what I should do. And my husband was like, hey, in college, remember, you liked coding. Why don't you try to go and do the whole switch? And especially during this time, he was working for a big company. It rhymes with Snapple.
And it's not Snapple.
It's not Snapple. Okay, we can call it Banana. He worked for Banana. And while working at Banana, he found his chemistry teacher. And his chemistry teacher, of course, she went to school to be a teacher. She didn't know anything tech, but now she's working for Banana, which is a big tech company. Right. And we reached out to her, be like, hey, how did you do the switch? Like, how did you go from nothing to something? Because I was curious, because I'm like, I want to get into tech. And I also wasn't happy with knowing that I was getting paid 50, 60K to make sure buildings don't fall down and kill people. While there were tech people who were getting paid 100K to change the colors on your pixels, different colors. And I'm just like, I have a high stress job. Didn't want that. So sorry, that was a
enticing to you.
Yeah, that was very enticing. That's what got me. I'm just like, all right, I remember I love coding, not happy where I am. I am a money chaser. So I was like, all right, tech. How do I get there? So we asked around some friends who know tech, and they're like, hey, do you know any good boot camps out there? I tried some of them, didn't like it, but a lot of people were recommending Treehouse. And I was like, all right, let me try this Treehouse thing. And I'm the type of person who needs structure. So that was one thing that like drawn me to Treehouse, because like the tech degrees, it was just like, you take this course, then this course, then this course. Here's a project. And you can complete this project because you took all of these courses. One thing I was getting frustrated about trying to learn tech on my own is just like, okay, I watched a YouTube video, but I felt like I was just like copy and pasting like what the guy did. I wasn't really like retaining it and learning it. And if I did go out and do a project on my own, I felt frustrated and be like, oh, this video didn't teach me enough.
That's what they call tutorial hell. Yeah. Everyone gets sucked into it at some point.
So I was sucked into that. But like, thankfully I found Treehouse. So that's how I started learning Treehouse. So I am super happy Treehouse's platform is more like you pay for how much you use it. So if you need to take a while, you can take a while. If you want to get it done in a month, that'll be amazing. I don't know if you could. But if you want to get it done in like 3 months or so, you can do that. I took a whole year and probably a little bit more, just because like I had my full-time job where I was working 40 plus hours a week. At the same time, I was planning a wedding, and I just want you want to have some free time. What? I was doing all that in
So
school.
what enticed you the most was the structure as well as the self-paced aspect of the
Yes.
platform. Well, that kind of brings me into my next question. One, that's really cool. I didn't know you actually learned through Treehouse. I mean, I think that's awesome, because we work for
Yeah.
Treehouse, so that's great. So that brings me into my next question. I mean, what are your thoughts on Treehouse as a consumer?
Yeah, I loved it mostly because, like, another thing that other places don't offer is like support. Like, yeah, there's the comment section, but people on the internet can be mean.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of hard to ask for questions, and people are going to make you feel dumb. So I loved the Slack channel, the Slack community, because everyone felt really friendly. You never, like, no one made you feel like you're asking a stupid question. Like, you can ask the dumbest question and someone would be like, oh, that's a great question. Here's actually, like, oh, I didn't think of that. Here's the answer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, like if you enroll in the tech degree, you actually get access to our exclusive Slack community, which is full of students that are also learning, same as you. So, like you said, there's
Yeah.
no dumb question. Everyone in there's learning, and it's also full of our student success specialist team, and they're there to set you up for success too.
Yeah. And another thing, like, not a lot of people take advantage of this, but I try to take advantage. Like, even though I saw a student success person already, like, so in Slack, as you know, you can put your project there before you actually submit it to make sure you get a good grade and you get the go ahead before you actually submit it. Even though people already, like, the student success already reviewed someone else's code, I would go in there and, like, try to not look at the comment section or the replies and see if I could figure out what was wrong with their code. And that also helped me out because, like, people code completely different. Like, I was shocked. I'm
Yes.
just like, oh, is that how you do it? Oh, I did it this way. Which is another thing I love about coding. It's just like there's never a right answer because there's so many answers. You can, like, either do one way or a different way.
I think one of the biggest hurdles I had was I learned how to do things and I learned how to do it without help. Not everyone could say that, but for the most part in the beginning, I was able to pick up HTML and CSS pretty quickly. And I'm not going to lie, I thought I was the man. I thought I knew it all. And then I would go to help someone else with their code and I would be like, whoa, they did this so much more efficiently than I would have. And like, it was like one of those moments that just hit me. You can learn a lot from other people and just seeing their code. Yes, you can do it correctly and you can do it in your own way, but there's a lot to learn by looking at other people's code. And for me, that was the biggest benefit of the Slack community with the tech degree.
Yeah, I totally agree. Or you, like, see other people and just, like, they did it really complex. And it's like trying to read and understand their code helps you out because when you go into the real world, you're not writing from scratch. You need to learn how to read code and know where to insert things or know what to change because more than likely you're going to join a team that already has a code base and you're not going to be adding new stuff. So, like, having the ability to read and understand someone else's code, like, even though you're like, I wouldn't do it this way, or like, wow, they did it way better, I'm going to try to remember that next time.
Oh yeah, actually, so like starting off as a junior developer, I think there's like a 0.1% chance you're going to start off at a company where you're starting their code base, So yeah, you're always going to hop into someone else's code base, and being able to read through other people's code and see how it all works is a crucial skill. So would you like recommend learning web development in the same way that you learned? And if so, why? Or why not?
I think if you're the type of person who needs structure and you don't want to think about it, like, you just want to go from A to B and not just, like, have to figure out what path you need to take, I would say definitely go to Treehouse, do a tech degree for the web dev because it takes the thinking and wondering out of it. Like, they curate it, like, all right, take this course, then this course, then this course. And, like, by the end, you even get a certificate to be like, look, I know front end, I know these languages, I've made projects. You even come out with a portfolio. So that's, like, the best part, like a portfolio with a bunch of, like, examples and all the projects you've ever done with it. So I mostly recommend it because everyone learns differently. But I do recommend it for if you are a type of person who likes structure and you don't want to think about it. If you're the type of person who's just trying to learn, like, one type of thing, sure, you can go to YouTube, you can go anywhere because it's all free and stuff. But if you want something, like, someone already thought about how to go from zero tech, like not knowing a single line of code, to, all right, now all front end, not all front end, but now front end to be dangerous. Now
Oh, yeah.
full stack JavaScript or Python or whatever, data analysis, all the tech degrees we offer. But yeah, so like if you want like a structure that you don't have to think about, you just sit and watch, and kind of like school. That's how like high school was. Like someone already put in the effort to figure out the best way to learn something. That's what our tech degrees are. We had a bunch of teachers sit down and figure out what is the best way to get someone from no coding experience to be able to go out and apply for jobs.
And I think our tech degrees are perfect for beginners because it starts you from the beginning, whether you're taking the full stack JavaScript, Python, front end, data analysis. It starts you from the beginning, takes you from basically no code to ready for your first entry level position. But you did hit on something earlier where you said it's perfect for those kinds of people that need the structure. But if you want to learn just one thing, yeah, you can go to YouTube, you can go to Udemy, all that stuff. But sometimes learning one thing encompasses a few different things too that also need to be learned in orders. And we do have tracks. We do have curated tracks on the site where you don't want to learn something from start to finish. You're already a little bit intermediate. You just want to learn a new topic. Well, there's a front end track, there's a React track, there's all sorts of tracks that you could take advantage of. And they're basically like the tech degree. It's like a lightweight version of our tech degree.
If you already know JavaScript and you just want to know React, or you already know front end but you don't know React, taking the React track is like a nice kind of like the fast lane.
Yeah, so we have everything for just about anyone here at Treehouse. And we're not just saying that. It's really great. So I do want to end out the show with a couple of fast, very quick, fun questions. So what editor do you use? And if it's not VS Code, I don't want to hear about it. No, I'm kidding. We don't discriminate here. So what editor do you use? And what's your favorite theme? What theme are you rocking, if any?
Okay. So I am very basic just because when I download something, I want to get straight to using it. I used to be the type of person who likes to change my settings and make it all pretty and adjust things. I'm just like, no, I just want to go and do what I need to get done.
So you're a no theme person.
At least I changed to dark mode because I got shamed.
Dark mode's given. You can't write code in a light theme because you want to know why? Bugs are attracted to light, and we don't write bugs here.
But you gotta attract the bugs so that you can squash them.
No, I'm not taking that.
Yeah, I think I just have like VS Code, the default dark theme. Of course, I have some extensions like Copilot, ESLint.
Oh, you forgot to mention what editor though. I'm assuming VS Code though.
Oh, sorry. Yes, VS Code.
Yeah, it's assumed. It's assumed. Have you ever used any other editors before at all?
Like when you started out? When I was first learning before Treehouse. I don't remember what it was called. I think it was something with script elements or something. It was something very, very basic. Maybe.
Was it Brackets? I know Brackets, Sublime Text, and maybe
Sublime.
even Atom. Was it Sublime? Okay, cool.
Sublime.
Yeah, those are the ones I feel like a lot of programmers start out with. I started out with Brackets. I did. Okay. I liked it. It was hard to switch to anything else. And then I was like, well, 99 of everyone else is on VS Code. Let's learn it.
Yeah. And it was nice to follow along with our courses because most of our courses uses VS Code. So it's like, all right, cool.
Right.
And they have like fun extensions. Like I downloaded this power mode extension where you can set it that like, so when I was adding comments at the end of my projects or anything, I turned this extension on and every letter you type is a firework. So you just get fireworks everywhere. So it's like, it felt like I was finishing the finish line. I was just like running through. It's just like, yes.
What is it called?
All I have to do is add comments. Power mode.
Power mode. I like that. I have seen that on a few YouTube videos and I've wondered. So I may or may not go download that as soon as we're done with this podcast.
It's very fun. Not needed, but it's fun. And then they also have one where you have like a Pixel Pal with you on your VS Code. I have like the weirdest extensions just because I'm just like, this looks fun. Why not?
If you're not theming your editor, that's fine. It's okay. Yeah. You can have a little fun. So if you could go back in time and tell younger developer Laura anything, what would it be?
I would say be more active in Slack and start networking earlier. Because that's one thing I've learned about the tech industry is just like networking is key. Like the way my husband got his first job out of college at Banana was through networking.
Oh yeah.
And like he knew a friend. His friend was like, "Hey, I work here. Do you want to work here?" And he was like, "Oh, sure. Why not?" He didn't like think too much into it, and then boom, he was working there for 5 years.
Networking is so important. It is like the most important. It is the most important thing we've talked about today. I promise. Networking.
And like it sucks because I feel like a lot of people in our field are shy. They're introverts. They know how to use computers. It's hard to go out there and put yourself out there. But I highly recommend it. Like when I was living in California, whenever Dub came up, the World Wide Web Developer Conference, I think that's what it stands for. My husband and I would go to events. We'd go and talk to other people, which was really awesome because I got to meet the guy who made the app Flighty. I don't know if you use Flighty, but Flighty is awesome.
Sounds familiar.
It's just another flight tracking app. Or we met the guy named Apollo when Reddit did their whole change and made people pay for their API. And like we met him like that same year, and we're just like,
oh wow,
I'm so sorry, Christian, that you have to go through this.
That sucks for him, for sure.
He did make an app for the Vision Pro where you can a better way to watch YouTube videos so you don't have to open up Safari or anything.
Cool.
Apparently that's pretty well. That's working well for him. But yeah, networking is key because like you don't know where like these relationships can go. Like someone could get a job in an indie place. Like I know the hardest part about once you take a boot camp is just getting your foot in the door. And the best way to get your foot in the door is networking because they don't know. Yeah, you can show them all the stuff you've done, but like I feel like there's just so many people out there applying and things that just networking really helps you. If you know someone,
absolutely,
it like gives you that extra oomph.
Networking sounds so scary to people who have never done it, especially any of the introverts out there. And, you know, it's common knowledge. A lot of developers are just introverted people. It's why we know what we know, because we sit down on our computer all day and we study and we learn. But take the scariness out of it and just make a friend, make one friend in your development journey, and that friendship will spark more and more over time. And then eventually you're going to have tons of friends that are all going off and working different places that you can connect with, and their friends can connect with you. And then the next thing you know, you are all in this interweb of networking, and you'll notice that you will find a job a lot quicker that way. You'll at least get heard, you'll be known. And you'll get your first job pretty quickly with networking versus just not making any friends. And who doesn't want to make friends? You know,
exactly. Like I wish I was more active. That's what I would tell my like little Laura when she was learning coding is be more active on Slack. Like I was the creeper. I was someone posted this. Let me look at their code and didn't reply at all. And I was just like, oh, we have student success people, or their student success people helping them out. They don't need me. But I wish I put myself out there more. I would have made much more connections and probably found my job sooner than 6 months.
Oh, yeah. And I'll give everyone here a little secret, too. If you are in our Slack community or even in our Discord community, see someone asking a question, I promise you, our student success team is waiting to respond because they want you to respond first. They want the community to kind of engage. They want to give you the chance to experience code reviewing and working with someone else and potentially making friends. So yeah, we'll always help out, but it might not be right away because we encourage people to, you know, reach out, work on someone else's code, network. So
exactly.
All right. Before we close out this show, give me a hot take. Could be about anything. Doesn't have to be about web development, or it could be about web development. What's your hot take?
We're going to close this off how we started it. Hot take. The Vision Pro is not worth the money.
No.
We're returning it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's... I think it's mostly because we just moved to a new house and we have other things we rather buy. But my hot take is the Vision Pro isn't worth it.
Is it a great product though?
It's fun to play around with. Yeah, for the price tag, it's way too expensive for the price tag. And it's also like version 1. This is the first time Apple has made a VR headset. Is it the best? Probably not, but it can get better. That is my hot take. It's not worth it.
I have my own reservations about the Apple Vision Pro, and I'm kind of right there with you. I think it's a great product. Don't think it's worth $3,500. I don't think Apple thinks it's worth $3,500. I think it's the first gen model. They didn't want it in as many hands, this first time around. I think the next iteration of it we'll probably see Apple Vision Pro 2 and then maybe just Apple Vision, without the Pro to it. And we might get a little cheaper of a more mainstream version of it. So that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm hoping happens.
And that's what we're thinking too. We're just like, look, we have other things we rather put this money into, and we can always go and buy it again if we want to.
For sure.
It's not like it's never going to be here again unless Apple really flops and it's just like, nope, never mind.
I don't see that happening.
I don't. There's too much hype around it.
Oh, yeah. All right. So that's it for the first show. We will be back next week with another show. Laura, do you want to let everyone know what the next show is going to be about?
All right. So you learned all about me, got to hear some of my answers and how I came to be where I am. And next show, you're going to learn everything there is to Dustin, how he got to this role. Yeah. So we put Dustin in the hot seat, see how he feels.
It'll be fun. Hope you have some great questions for me.
Oh, hell yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it for the first show. We will see you guys next week on the next show. Till then, have fun and happy coding.
Happy coding, guys. Bye.
Bye. Cool.